Shalom, giving all praise to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders that were well. Peace and many salutations to Yakim that's told in his truth. I'm just doing a little research on marriage, and how what consummates a marriage. I was looking through the book of the manners and customs of the Bible, and I was reading over a couple of precepts that brothers had posted, in particular the one in Genesis 24 and 67, when Isaac brought her into, it states right here, her into his mother's Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And it, looking at this custom, it further explains the understanding of what consummates a marriage, which is to be sex. And Jacob taking his wife to his mother's tent was a representation of that. When you went in the ancient custom, you would pay a dowry in something that would symbolize, that marriage was the fact that the wife would move in with the husband. So, in a lot of ways, shacking up, you could say, is biblical. A lot of people that's in the Christian church that tell you, you guys are shacking up. You're playing house. Well, really, that was symbolic of of marriage. Now, in layman terms, that'd be considered common law. Okay, so let me read this for you guys, and then we'll get to the scripture, and we'll close out. This is something that's going to be very quick. Now, it says, this is according to manner and customs of the Bible. Women's tent marriage. And again, I read this again, Genesis 24 and 67. Isaac brought her into his mother's Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. The expression Sarah's tent may mean nothing more than her apartment in the principal tent of the encampment. And there's some, several examples of tents. It says, though it is sometimes customary for the woman to have separate tents of their own, as seems to have been the case with Leah and Rachel, Genesis 31 and 33. This would doubtless be desirable where there were more wives than one. There is no evidence of any special ritualist forms in this primitive marriages. In these primitive marriages, the preliminaries, referring to dowry and similar financial matters, being satisfactorily arranged, the man took his wife as Isaac took Rebekah. The essence of the marriage ceremony consisted in the removal of the bride from her father's house to that of the bridegroom or of his father. You see that? And that would be, symbolic of them being married. That woman moving into the husband's house or his father's house. This is what you see going happen in Genesis 24 and 67. So let me pull that for you guys, and I'll read up on that a couple of verses. I'll probably start at like 64 or something like that. You know what? I said I was going to start at 60, but I want to start at 12. Now I'm starting at 12 because Abraham sent his servant to his father's land, which was Rome, which if you look it up is in modern day Syria, that area. And this is why it states in Deuteronomy 23rd chapter that thou shalt not hate a Dewamium, You know what I'm saying? We really should say Aromium. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the land in which Abraham came out of. No, so that's where his kindred was. You know what? I'm gonna look that up for you guys, just for edification. Just want to prove everything. I didn't mean for this to be very long, but the spirit goes where it want to go. Okay. But check this out. It says, I'm gonna read it in the King James version. It's on the right side of your screen. It says, "Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in his land." Now check this out. When you look it up, that word Adam Adam Adomya Ad Adomya. Well, really, um, it should say Awomya. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna prove it for you to you guys. Now let's look up this word. Her. Let's see. Let's go back. I'll look it up for you guys. Root word. Here we go. There it goes down. It says H726. So anytime you're looking it up, brothers, you go down. It says, go to the Strong's definition. It says C H726. Okay, now let's click on it. It says a clerical error from Adomya, and it's Aromya, right? Aromya, which means Aromite, Syrian, and it has Edomite, but it means Aromite. This is what it was. This is what it was alluding to, the Aromites, which that's the area in which forefather Abraham came out of. Okay, which was modern day Syria. All right, so the servant told. Well, Abraham told his servant to go to Rome to get Isaac a wife. Okay, so he sent him to that area, and we all know that he picked who. Well, the Most High had him pick who? Our foremother, Rebecca. Okay, now let's go back to it, and let's look this up. Verse 12, Genesis 24 and 12. It says, this is the servant praying, okay, because he's trying to find Isaac a wife. Okay, he says, "O Yahweh, the Most High of my master Abraham," he prayed. "Please," I'm reading the NLT Slakia. "Please give me a success today and show unfailing love to my master Abraham. See, I am standing here beside this spring, and the young women of the town are coming out to draw water. This is my request. I will ask one of them, please give me a drink from your jug. If she says yes, have a drink, and I will water your camels too. Let her be the one you have selected as Isaac's wife. This is how I will know that you have shown unfailing love to my master." Before he had finished praying, he saw a young woman named Rebecca coming out of her water jug on her shoulder. She was the daughter of Bethuel, who was the son of Abraham's brother Nahor and his wife Milcah. Rebecca was very beautiful and old enough to be married, but she was still a virgin. She went down to spring, filled her jug, and came up again. And running over to her, the servant said, "Please give me a little drink of water from your jug." "Yes, my lord," she answered. "Have a drink." And she quickly lowered her jug from her shoulder and gave him a drink. When she had give him a drink, she said, I'll draw water for your camels too, until they have had enough to drink." Now, as you can see, women were in a mindset of servitude. You see that? It was vastly different from the whole concept of independent woman. I don't need a man type of concept. No, women were very feminine. Okay? They were very feminine, you know what I'm saying? Which is very different from what we see now. And having a feminine mindset is very important in a marriage if you're dealing with a man. Okay? Especially if you're dealing with a man of the Lord. Alright? So she was serving. Not only did she give the servant drink, but she gave the camels a drink. Why is that? Because he was a man. Okay? Verse 20. So she quickly emptied her jug into the watering trough and ran back to the well to draw water for all his camels. The servant watched her in silence, wondering whether or not Yahweh had given him success in his mission. Then at last, when she came, when the camels had finished drinking, he took out a gold ring for her nose and two large gold bracelets for her wrist. Now, in our customs, if a woman was to be married, and he's setting up the marriage, this is why they're bringing it out, and it was custom for a woman to wear a lot of jewelry, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature when they was about to get married, not just a ring. They would put on many things, many forms of jewelry, like a nose ring, like the golden bracelets. Okay, I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you these guys, this to you guys real quickly. Now, this is according to manner and customs of the Bible. It says wedding jewelry. It says an Oriental, Israelite. You know, well, what's to say Oriental? Okay, an Oriental wedding. At Oriental weddings, both bride and bridegrooms are adorned with a profusion of jewelry of every kind. If too poor to purchase, they borrow from neighbors and friends. That a splendid show may be made. See also Revelation 21, 21 and 2. Okay, that's why it says that we're going to be adored, and basically a lot of jewelry as the bride of Yahweh Shah. You know what I'm saying? When we come down. Let me get that for you guys. Revelation 21 and 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. That means we're going to be shining when we come down. Well, that was a custom that they were alluding to, man. You know what I'm saying? The custom that they were alluding to was basically the bride being adorned by by uh, by the husband, or by the family, with a lot of jewelry. It wasn't just a wedding ring, okay? So Jay got that pushing whole notion of a wedding ring, things of that nature. That's a custom Esau Edom. That's not our custom, okay? Get back to it. Now this is Genesis 24 and 13. Actually, Let me get this. Let me get this in the NLT for you guys. This scripture doesn't have the NLT. Back to we just got edification on this particular verse here. Genesis 24 and 22. Then at last, when the camels had finished drinking, he took out a gold ring for her nose and two large gold bracelets for her wrist. He was setting up the marriage. Then he said, verse 23, whose daughter are you? And he asked, please, please tell me, uh, would your father have any room to put us up for the night? I am the daughter of Bethuel. She replied, my grandparents are Nahor and Milcah. Now check this out. This I found this very interesting. Okay. Let's see, cross-reference. Now Genesis 11 and 29 still in that. Meanwhile, Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, and her sister Sychar were daughters of Nahor's brother Haran. So that was his niece that he married. Okay. All right. And also, Abraham married Bethuel and Abraham. If I'm not mistaken, no, it's Nahor. No, Bethuel was the brother of Abraham. Okay, so they were cousins. Isaac and Rebecca were cousins. This is something that was custom in our traditions, man. You know what I'm saying? To marry your cousin. Okay, so I know it sounds crazy, but this is something that happened. You know what I'm saying? Often. I'm gonna look this up for you guys. Okay, just for edification. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Now, Bethuel. It says Bethuel. I just simply Google this. Bethuel in the Hebrew Bible was a Armenian man, the youngest son of Nahor and Milcah, and the nephew of Abraham, and the father of Laban and Rebekah. Bethuel was also a town in the territory of the tribe of Simeon. Well, the information is in the latter, okay? So, Rebekah and Isaac were cousins, okay? They were all related, all right? Now, this is something that is controversial now, but lineage was very important in our traditions. Lineage and also keeping it within the family, you know what I'm saying, or the family lineage was very, very important. We didn't marry outside of our nation. It's prohibited for us to marry Canaanites and things of that nature, okay? So I just want to bring that out for edification. So I'm bringing this out also just to illustrate there's a lot of things that our forefathers would do that we would see as grotesque, okay? As barbaric as toxic masculinity, okay? And the story that I'm reading to you all is going to illustrate that also, okay? Lineage was very important. Forwarding the patriarch was very important, and the women were with that, all right? They were for that. back to it. It says Genesis 24 and 24. I am the daughter of Bethuel. She replied, my grandparents are Nahor and Milcah. Okay, which Nahor was the uncle of Milcah. All right, verse 25. Yes, we have plenty of straw and feed for the camels, and we have room for guests. The man bowed low and worshiped Yahweh. Praise Yahweh, the God of my master Abraham. He said, Yahweh has shown unfailing love and faithfulness to my master, for he has led me straight to my master's relatives. The young woman ran home to tell her family everything that had happened. Now Rebekah had a brother named Laban who ran out to meet the man at the spring. He had seen the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's wrist, which was symbolic of what? Them. Well, it was a symbolic or a part of the wedding ritual, or them consummating their marriage, or them betrothing Rebecca. Remember what we just read about weddings, okay? And her Rebecca tell what that the man had said. So he rushed out to the spring where the man was still standing beside the camels. And Laban said unto him, Come and stay with us, you who are blessed by Yahweh. Why are you standing here outside the town when I have a room all ready for you and a place prepared for camels? So the man went home with Laban, and Laban unloaded the camels, gave him straw for their bedding, fed them, and provided water for the man and the camel drivers to wash their feet. Then food was served, but Abraham's servant said, I don't want to eat until I have told you why I have come. All right, Laban told us. Laban said, Tell us. I am Abraham's servant, he explained, and Yahweh has greatly blessed my master. He has become a wealthy man. Yahweh has given him flock of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and fortune in silver and gold, and many male and female servants, and camels and donkeys. When Sarah, my master's wife, was very old, she gave birth to my master's son, and my master has given him everything he owns. My master made me take an oath. He said, Do not allow my son to marry one of these local Canaanite women. Go and say to my father's house, to my relatives, and find a wife there for my son. But I said unto my master, What if I can't find a young woman who is willing to go back with me? He responded, Yahweh, in whom presents uh, uh, in whose presence I have lived, will send an angel with you and will make your mission successful. Yes, you must find a wife for my son from among my relatives, from my father's family. You see that? Then you will have fulfilled my obligation. But if you go to my relative and they refuse to let her go with you, you will be free from your oath. So today, when I came to the spring, I prayed this prayer, O Yahweh, uh, Most High of my servant Abraham, please give me success on this mission. Seeing I am standing here beside this spring, this is my request. When a young woman comes to draw water, I will say to her, please give me a little drink of water from your jug. And we'll skip down because we've read that. Just, just for time's sake. Um, verse 49. So tell me, will you or won't you show unfailing love and faithfulness to my master? Please tell me yes or no, and then I'll know what to do next. So the servant told Laban everything that transpired, and Laban told him this. He said, then Laban and Bethuel replied, Yahweh has obviously brought you here, so there is nothing we can say. Here is Rebekah. Take her and go. Yes, let her be the wife of your master's son, as Yahweh has directed. So there you go. That's a transaction right there. Okay, he got the blessing, and he got to go. Go ahead to take this woman to be this man's wife, to be Isaac's wife. Okay, it was that simple. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? A freaking you go to the courtyard, you get a marriage certificate. And it wasn't any of those things. Okay, a consummation of that, or a part of the consummation was that woman would move into the husband's house or his father's house. And that's precisely what's happening. We just read that in the manner and customs of ancient Israel, man. Okay, verse 51. Here is Rebekah. Take her and go. Yes, let her be the wife of your master's son, as Yahweh has directed. When Abraham's servant heard those answers, he bowed down to the ground and worshiped Yahweh. Then he brought out silver and gold jewelry and clothing and presented them to Rebekah. You see that going back to the customs, okay? He also gave expensive presents to her brother and mother. Then they ate their meal, and the servant and the man with him stayed there overnight. But early the next morning, Abraham's servant said, "Send me back to my master, but we want Rebekah to stay with us at least 10 days." Her brother and mother said, "Then she could go." But he said, "Don't delay me. Yahweh has made my mission successful. Now send me back so I can return to my master." Well, they said, "Well, call Rebekah and ask her what she thinks." So they called Rebekah. "Are you willing to go with this man?" They asked her, and she replied, "Yes, I will go." So they said goodbye to Rebekah and sent her away with Abraham's servant and his man. The woman who had been Rebekah's childhood nurse went along with her. They gave her this blessing as she parted. "O sister, may you become the mother of many millions. May your descendants be strong and conquer the cities of their enemies." Beautiful. Then Rebekah and her servant girls mounted the camels, which shows you that our people were people of substance. You know, our people had substance, things of that nature. And so we had a mindset of dynasty, and that was taken away from us here in this captivity. You know, now we descended to freaking baby mamas and baby daddies, which is void of any sense of posterity or a legacy minded, or being legacy minded. You know, we're just living, nihilistic lives, man. You know what I'm saying? So going back and understanding why the lineage was so important is very, very important to understand, why marriage, you know what I'm saying, and also who our people would marry it's so important to understand, man, if that makes sense. Okay, it was very important for us to in, keep the lineage intact of certain families. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, the Levites, they were encouraged to only marry Levites. They couldn't marry harlots or somebody, a woman who played the harlot. You know what I'm saying? That was prohibited. And also, the other tribes, typically didn't do that either. Why is that? Because we're building, we're building something, and also we're forwarding the nation. Our nation was very particular, so it was taken away from us. Okay. Uh, Back to it though. It says, verse 61. Then Rebekah and her servant girls uh, mounted the camels and followed the man. So Abraham's servant took Rebekah and went on her way. Meanwhile, Isaac, whose house was in the Negev, had returned from Bilhah. One evening, as he was walking and meditating in the fields, he looked up and saw the camels coming. When Rebekah looked up and saw Isaac, she quickly dismounted from her camel. She said, "Who is that man walking through the field to meet us?" So she was intrigued. So, okay, who was that? She asked the servant, and he replied, "It is my master." So Rebekah covered her face with her veil. Then the servant took Isaac everything. Then the servant told Isaac everything he had done. And Isaac brought Rebekah into his his mother Sarah's tent, and she became his wife. What do you think? What do you think happened in there? Their voice was, the vibe was right. They was feeling each other. Certain rituals was already performed for her to be his wife, and he consummated the marriage by doing what? By having intercourse with her, dog. You know what I'm saying? This is very simple. All right, so people don't say shacking up is going off, or fornication is when you're not married but having sex. But that's contrary to uh, what our ancient customs were, man. All right, so that being said, give our praise to my Heavenly Father, name is Yahweh, by Shem, Shah, by Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders that were well, and peace and many salutations to you brothers told in the truth. Shalom.